30 minutes. I'm going to set my timer. And I can't wait to talk to you. I know people are getting ready to jump on. And oh, here's my timer. It kind of matches my shirt. Anyway, I can't wait for people to jump on and see how you're doing this morning. Move that over. Oopsie. That's my planner. Actually, I need my planner over here. Have it over here. Love my planner. All right, today we are talking about the same thing we've been talking about, and that is planning out our day. But more than that, I'm going to talk about something. I just made a video on it as well about for YouTube about mental exhaustion. So that's what we're going to talk about. Hi, Erica. Good morning. Yeah, we're going to talk about mental exhaustion. So mental exhaustion happens usually in the afternoon or the end of the day when you've been really working, not necessarily physically, just working mentally. That causes mental exhaustion. And if you're working physically, you can also have mental exhaustion because obviously you're using your brain when that happens. Somebody's popped in here. Let's see. Hi, Mary Sellers. Good morning. Roll Tide. Let's make sure I'm in top chat. Live chat, not top chat. There we go. And I'm talking to you live from Nashville, Tennessee. Yesterday, Larry and I drove downtown and looked at all the fun things they have down there. Tomorrow, we're going to the Grand Ole Opry. Last night, we heard some live music at our RV park, which was fantastic. Classic country. Larry and I loved it. Tomorrow, we have tickets to, the Grand Ole Opry. Friday, we're going to President, who is it? Andrew Jackson's Hermitage, the Hermitage. So we're going to go tour the Hermitage, his home. And then Saturday, we're going to the Parthenon. They've made a copy of the Parthenon here. They did it like in the 1800s, but they've been working on it the last 35 years. They're doing the goddess Athena. They're trying to really make it look like the Parthenon. So I can't wait to see that. It's a museum. It's got lots of fun things to do. Sunday, I'll make all my recordings for next week, and we will get ready to leave. And Monday, we're going west. We're going to Arkansas. So let's see who's on here now. Sandra Lutz is here. Hi, Sandra. Greetings from Chicago. Glad I caught you live. I'm glad you're here. Katie said, good morning. Hey, Katie. Gave us a little sunflower. So sweet. So anyway, today we're talking about mental exhaustion. And that's what happens to us when we have to recreate the wheel over and over and over again, which is why we want to plan in our planner. I use Kimmy's planner. Kimmy's planner is changing this, probably this fall, definitely next year. I've already got my planners for this year. They're going to be reimagined because she has to get her manufacturer, the person who makes them, couldn't continue. So they're going to do it a new way, but it'll be great. And I'm looking forward to having them. But change is inevitable in life. Nothing stays the same. That's a quote from Mr. B. Nothing ever stays the same. So don't think everything's going to stay the same. It's not. No matter what's happening, it's not going to stay the same. So just know that and accept that with grace. Whatever planner you're using, you need to plan in it. So that means that once a week you have a planning and desk day where you get your planner out and you take the information that you have for the week. So you might have to go to the calendar in the kitchen, on your Google calendar, and your phone, wherever you put your appointments and commitments. Or maybe you think you have them down pat in your brain, and you might. But let's write them down for the week. What are the things we've committed for next week? So that's all the things. That's taking our children to practice. That's giving of your time to church or friends or whatever. That's appointments that you have, mentoring appointments with me, all those appointments that you want to not interfere with. Those are your commitments. If you are full of commitments every day, you are overcommitted. You are going to be mentally exhausted every day. You have to have rest time for your brain and for your body. So look at your life and say, what if you are that person who has stuff every day, all day long. Now, we have sometimes those of us who work full time have a commitment of time that's a big chunk of every day. And that's okay because that's your normal day. Mr. B's on here. Happy Wednesday, everyone, he said. What is that?
It's a waving hand and a set of eyeballs.
A set of eyeballs? Anyway, Mr. B saying hi. He doesn't look like that. Look at that straight, crazy hair.
It's not supposed to be a picture of me.
It's not. It looks like two eyeballs on two orange forks.
Well, that's you, and the hand's me.
Oh, okay.
That was neither one of us, Miss Betty.
Here I am, all eyeballs. Okay.
It's just a symbol.
So, anyway, good morning from Mr. B. That's very distracting. Let's see, where was I? Oh, yeah. So we were talking about mental exhaustion. So if you have too many commitments, then you might want to say, you know what? It's time for me to give this up. I need to give this up. Now, a lot of you are perfectionists. I know I am. I know most of my mentees are perfectionists, and we have to learn how to let that go. Because your thought pattern is, oh, but nobody can do it like me. You're so special. I'm so special. But you know what? Lots of people can do it, and they'll do it like them, and that's okay. That's okay. We have to let it go. So if you need to let some things go, I think you're going to find that it won't be giving you that much time. You know, you're so committed and you're doing all these things. If you give up one or two things, your regular day is just going to sop it up. You know, it won't feel like you've given up too much, and you'll think, how did I do those other things? Because there's so much in your life that you might be missing right now. Maybe, Mr. B, maybe it's taking care of your home. Maybe it's having rest time for yourself. There are things that are very important. Maybe it's spending time with your family. These are all important things. So Tina Ann Weiss is here. Hi, Kat. Just where I'm at. Perfect topic, struggling with physical exhaustion. Okay. So we need to have, if you have physical exhaustion, that means your body needs rest and maybe you're doing too much. I have mentees who will do their housework like crazy women. They will detail everything and they will do the deep dive where, let's say, they're supposed to do 15 minutes in their kitchen, for example, and they're going to work underneath their sink, and they open it up and they work under their sink, and when the 15-minute timer goes off, they don't stop. They keep going. They'll say, well, you know, I'm feeling like doing it now. Might not have an opportunity later. These are the thoughts. These are the things they think. These are the things I've also said. These are the things they have said to me. I wanted to get it done while I was in the mood, whatever. They will do the deep clean under there. And then while they're at it, they'll say, well, I need to put these things back, but you know, the storage bin is full for the Tupperware or whatever. I'm going to clean out the Tupperware. And they end up staying in their kitchen for 2 hours, 4 hours, 6 hours, where they were supposed to spend 15 minutes. And I personally have done that sewing a suit. I remember sewing a suit in particular for Easter. Navy blue and white. It was beautiful. And I did a good job on it, but I'm a perfectionist, so I ripped seams and did it over and over again. My kids were going crazy in the background. My husband came home and said, what's for dinner? And I said, dinner? And I thought, I haven't even eaten lunch. The kids probably just ate Pop-Tarts. Who knows what they had? And that's what happens. And I said, well, give me just 5 more minutes. I'm finishing the hymn. You know, I had to get it finished in one day like a crazy woman. So that's what happens. And then the rest of the household suffers. And do you know what? Since that day, I never sewed on my machine again. I gave my machine away because you get burned out on cleaning, on sewing, on whatever it is you did this deep dive on. Sometimes you get burned out because it took so much from your life and from you physically, emotionally, mentally, that you don't want to do it again. So if I'm asking you to do 15 minutes in your kitchen, and you planned 15 minutes, and you get under the sink and you work there for 15 minutes and the buzzer goes off, and then you complete the process, which could be another 5-10 minutes, where you're putting things away, throwing things outside in the garbage, putting the giveaway in the back of the car, maybe wiping something off a little bit, and you're done. Instead of spending 2 hours, 4 hours, 6 hours in that kitchen, and maybe you're one of those people who does it every day because you think, oh, it'll never get better, and I just have to see a change. I need change. I need things to improve, or I'm going to lose my mind. You've got to change your thinking, and you've got to say, I see you, and I have a plan. The word is plan for you, and that means you put it in your planner for another day, okay, or next month, or whatever. because your home is going to come around with this It is, but it is, and I say it all the time, the dripping of water that wears away stone. It's little consistent efforts that change things and make new habits. Because when you have a bad habit, it's hard to get over it. And if your bad habit is a deep dive, or your bad habit is to take your clothes off and throw it on the chair, or your bad habit is to walk in the house and just dump everything in the guest room, or whatever it is you've been doing that you've taught your family how to do, and now your home is so cluttered you hate it, then it's time to change your mind and say, I see you, I have a plan for you, and learn to say, I love my home. I'm so happy with this home. Yes, it needs repairs, but I can't even get to the repairs because the clutter's covering up. Okay? Or I don't have a good budget. I can't save to get repairs done. All of that is part of a plan. So when you plan once a week, you don't have to reinvent the wheel all week long. When you plan for your week, then when you get to Monday, Monday is planned. You already know what your commitments are for that day. You already know that you're going to be working in your kitchen for 15 minutes 4 times this week. And you know that on this day, it's underneath the kitchen sink. On the next day, it's the Tupperware drawer. On the next day, it's the cup cabinet. On the next day, it's the first shelf of your pantry. Whatever it is you've chosen, you've got 4 15-minute units to work in. And because, I'm just going to say a little aside here. Let's say that you're working under the sink and 15 minutes passed and you weren't through. Then the next day you just pick up where you left off and you just knock one of those things off the back end. Okay? If it's not more than a 15-minute job and you're still not through with it after an hour, you're being a perfectionist. You're taking way too long to make decisions, which gives you mental exhaustion. When you are just pondering and pondering and pondering and pondering, what you're doing is you're taking your big, beautiful brain that God blessed you with, that works in nanoseconds, quicker than that snap. It makes a decision quickly, and you're rebooting it, rebooting it, rebooting it, rebooting it. No wonder your brain is tired. You've overthought everything when there's no need. Let your brain do the work for you. You don't have to go to a computer and type it in. It's all here. Let your brain work for you in nanoseconds. Now, some of our brains are not as organized as other brains, and that's okay. It can still make a decision quickly. Should I keep this or give it away? And when you're making a decision to keep or give something away or throw it away, there's 4 questions you have to ask yourself that you need at least one yes answer to. Do I love it, need it, want it, use it? So let's say you don't use it, you don't need it, you don't love it, but you want it. You just want it. You want this thing, okay? The last question, you have to have one answer yes to those 4 questions, and then the last question is, do I have a place to keep it? Do I have space for it? If you don't have space for it, let's say it's something you want. Let's say it's a piping set for icing. You don't really need it. You don't really use it. You don't really love it, but you want it because you want to have this full set of stuff that somebody gave you. Okay, it's whatever. It's emotional, but you want it. And you open up the drawer, you would keep it, and that drawer is jammed full of stuff. Then you can't keep it unless you get something out of that drawer and get rid of it that will give you room to keep this piping set, for example. Okay, so that's important to know. When you are decluttering and you come to a space, hey Janet, to a space that's jammed up and you wanted to put your piping set in there when you're doing your complete the process, putting things away, then my suggestion is to put that in a container in the corner of the room. And then when you work on that drawer and you get the things out that you don't need, you will now have a place to put it. So in the beginning, it's like when you have you ever been in a home that's being refurbished? It's like it gets worse before it gets better. So it's not going to be worse though, because there's a purpose for everything. That box in the corner with your piping set and that set of cups and those things you don't have room to put away, you know what that is. That's got an assignment, and you don't let the kids mess with it, and you don't let your husband throw it away. It's something you want to keep and you're going to make space for. And that changes your mind. So when you open the drawer and you get ready to work in that drawer or whatever, you can pull things out and say, why do I have 2 cheese graters in here? Which one is the best one? This one is good, but this one is my favorite. This good one is going to go in the giveaway box. And it'll be easier because you know you're making room for the stuff that you want, need, love, or use that's in that box. Okay? I hope that makes sense. So this will save you from exhaustion because you have a plan. If you don't have a plan, the mental exhaustion will set in. You will go into that drawer. You will say, well, I really want to keep that piping set, but let me look through here. Oh, 2 cheese graters. Well, you know what? I love the way this one grates, but I love the way this one feels in my hand. I'm going to keep both of them. Am I? Kat said I shouldn't, but she doesn't know. I love these. I love both of them. And I have room for them right now, so I'll look for something else. And that is exhausting. When you know you have duplicates, keep the best one, get rid of the other one, or keep the one that you love the most, or the one that means the most to you, or whatever, and get rid of the rest, okay? And we all have to make those decisions. And I'll tell you, it is not easy. But if you depend on your brain to make a nanosecond decision and you don't reboot it, and burn it out, then it will be easy. And when you take that box or bag of things to the Goodwill and you actually drive away and your car is empty, that is such a blessing, that feeling. And when you go home and you open your drawer and you have room for your piping equipment and you've got room for that 1 cheese grater and you've got one of this and one of that and everything is the best, it's wonderful. Just the same with your clothes. When you go through your clothes, you pick out what you love, what you need, what you want, what you use, at least one of those things, and you have room for it. And so when you open your closet and things can breathe, like separate trees in a forest, they can breathe. They're not wrinkled and smashed together. You can see what you have. You can organize it by type, by color, by weight. Doesn't matter. You know, by weight, I mean, is it a heavy piece of clothing or a light piece of clothing, etc. Mr. B says, join my Patreon channel for $6.50, and that is my videos that are on the Patreon channel. You get 5 a week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. They're anywhere from 2 minutes to 10 minutes. I talk to you about exactly what we're going to do that day. So it'll help you with your mental exhaustion because you can look at your plan, you can listen to what I'm saying, and you can say, yep, that's exactly what I have planned today. Or nope, that's not what I have planned today, but I have that plan for Thursday, and that's fine because I took Tuesdays and moved it here and Mondays and moved it here when I was planning. So everything is covered, but it gets you in the mode to do your work from your planning. Okay, another thing that I'm going to tell you is when you have planned out your week, and you haven't planned out your days, then when you get to the day, you can at least pull the information and put it in the day, but it's going to cost you more mind bandwidth. It's going to cost you more brain power. If you do it all at one time, you're going to be tired, but you've set the time aside. And I've told you before, planning a desk day can be 2 to 4 hours long. And it's not just planning in your planner. It's planning your food, your meals, your grocery list. It's looking at your finances, your budget, and it's taking care of any action items from your paper decluttering that you might have done during the week, or online decluttering that you might have done. Action items, call the doctor, send a note to the teacher, etc. Okay? So that all happens 1 day a week, and you set that time aside. Your mind is ready for it because you haven't been draining it all week long making new plans. I'm ready for questions, and I can't wait to see what your questions are. I know there's about 20 of you on here. I appreciate the thumbs up. I appreciate the comments if you're watching this after the fact. And, you know, I'll answer questions if you ask me questions. I'm not going to give you huge, long answers like I would if I was mentoring you, but I'll give you a quick answer. If you need a quick answer, I'll be happy to do that. So does anybody have any questions about mental exhaustion or physical exhaustion, where you pushed yourself too hard, you pushed your brain too hard, you reinvented the wheel every day? That is exhausting. And at some point when you're planning on a daily basis instead of planning on a weekly basis, when you get to Wednesday, you're going to say, I know what to do. And you're not going to plan, and you don't know what to do because you're going to sit around in your gown too long, or you're going to get in your Bible study and not get out of it, or you're going to say, yeah, today is such and such a day, but I don't want to do that today. I'm going to take this as my free day, but you already took yesterday as your free day. You know, and I know that you know it because your brain is beautiful and it knows that, but you don't care because you don't have the bandwidth or the brain energy to recreate the wheel again today. So I highly encourage you to plan once a week and get it done. and go through your finances and get it done and all that. Okay, Katie said, focusing on getting good sleep and not being such a people pleaser has helped me so much. I am firm but kind. Oops, it faded away. Like a pineapple, just like you taught. That's right, be a pineapple. For those of you who've never heard me say be a pineapple, like Katie's referring to, be a pineapple. Be sweet on the inside, tough on the outside, stand tall, and wear a crown. That's right. And that means firm but kind. That means that you say, no, I'm sorry, I can't go to the lake with you today or this morning. I've got plans this morning, but I can't go with you tomorrow afternoon, or I can go with you this afternoon, or I can't go with you next week, or whatever, but you've got plans. And that means you've got a planner and it's got what you need to do in it. Now, does that mean you need to be like, I can't go, I'm in jail, I've already made this plan? No, it doesn't. It doesn't mean that. It means if you have 15 minutes of work to do, you are not in jail. So change your thinking. That is stinking thinking. But if you have planning and desk day planned, and somebody says, tomorrow we're all getting together and we're going to the lake, and you know you want to go to the lake, and going to the lake is part of your summer bucket list, and the kids would love it, and you have nothing to do today. Today was maybe your car and purse day, or maybe it was errand day, but you already got your errands done. Maybe you could just switch your planning day to this afternoon if you had nothing, if you could do it, or switch your planning day to another day and do car and purse day on that day, which is just a few minutes, and then you could go do it. So you're not in jail. You can definitely move things around, but you're not having to recreate the wheel. Do you see what I'm saying? So Tina Ann Vise says, Kat, I plan, and then go flat out for a day or two and then crash with exhaustion. Yeah, because you're going flat out, because you plan too much. You had too much to do. You have to plan your day so that you have a human life. You can't plan, and then crash. Now, another thing that happens is some people plan, and they've got it all planned out for the week. It's beautiful. It's not too much. It sounds fabulous. Some people love to plan, like me. I love to plan. I told you before, Mr. B used to say, what are you doing, raising chickens on paper? Because raising chickens in life is different than writing down your plan, right? So doing your work is different than having the plan. But when we come to the day to do it, we don't want to do it, is the truth. We don't want to do it. That's why when I say do your morning ritual first, the very first thing I say when I say do your morning ritual is to get up. You have to start. And when you walk those steps to the bathroom and you stay in there and you wash your face and you brush your teeth and you moisturize your skin and you put on some makeup and you fix your hair and you put your clothes on and you spray and wipe out the sink and you spray and swish the toilet and you put your pajamas away and you make your bed and you look around to see if there's any clutter, and you walk through the house and you're looking for clutter and you're picking it up if there is any, and I mean the clutter that happened since last night, so it shouldn't be any or very little. And you go into your beautiful kitchen that says good morning because you took care of it last night and you took care of it after dinner. Then you're going to feel like doing your plan. But if you lay in the bed and you don't get up, or you don't go to bed on time, you're going to bed at 1 or 2 in the morning because you're fiddling around. Because you know why you're fiddling around? Because probably your day was stolen from you because you gave away too much of your day and you didn't have any time for yourself. So you're fiddling around, or you're reading, or you're trying to clean in the middle of the night, which is absolutely insanity. I love you, but don't do that. And then when you fall asleep at 2 or 3 in the morning and at 6 o'clock and it's time to get up, you can't get up and you're dragging. So look at your own day and say, what is happening? Now, some of you are having actual sleep problems, and that you might want to talk to your nutritionist, you might want to talk to your doctor, you might want to read up on it. But the fact is, you need to go to bed earlier, get good sleep, and wake up earlier. That's the fact. And earlier is early, whatever early is to you. Some people it might be 9 o'clock. Some people who work the night shift, early might be 4 in the afternoon. Who knows? But you know what you need. You know what you'd like. If you'd like for your children to be asleep by 8 and you want to be in bed by 10, and you want to get up at 6 while the kids are still sleeping and do that little routine I just told you about, that little morning ritual, then you need to go to sleep and be in the bed by 10. That means at 9:45 you need to go brush your teeth, make sure the dishwasher's running, has soap in it, you've locked the doors and closed the curtains, and you've got to bed on time. If you are waking up in the middle of the night, I know a lot of people who are perimenopausal or menopausal have a hard time sleeping, and so they'll wake up and they're just awake in the middle of the night. And then there are some things you can do for that, but I'm not going to tell you those things. You need to go find out about those things for yourself. All right, some people do magnesium, some people take different things, different herbal supplements. But whatever it is, some people say, well, you know what, I'm not getting enough physical exercise. I need to take a walk every day. I need to do some yoga before bed and stretch my hamstrings. Whatever it is, try it and see if it gives you better sleep. Know that you are not alone, that perimenopausal and menopausal women sometimes don't sleep as well as others. The trick is, how do you feel when you get up in the morning? Sometimes, I'm 72, I'm not perimenopausal or even menopausal anymore. I'm way past all that. But sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night 2 or 3 times and I don't go to sleep for 30 minutes or so. But in the morning when I wake up naturally and I feel good, and it's early. So sometimes you don't need a whole lot of sleep. Most of the time you should get 6 to 8 hours. Okay, so I hope that helped you with that. All right, any other questions? Let's see if I missed any. Good sleep. Nope. Okay, we've got this many minutes left. 4 minutes, so I'm looking for questions. Tina Ann said, Kat, I plan and go flat out for the day. And she crashes with exhaustion. So I hope that was a good answer for you, that all that planning needs to be on paper by day so that you know when you get up what you have to do this day. And when you go to bed the night before, take a look at it and say, oh yeah, tomorrow I've got this, and this. I've got my clothes laid out for the night. So in the morning I know what to put on. I'm going to do my morning ritual. And I won't forget anything, so I'm not going to be worried about it because it's all written down. That's another reason people don't sleep. They're afraid they're going to forget something. Anyway, all right. Mary Seller says, don't forget to give a thumbs up. Thank you. I see a few more people have given me a thumbs up. I appreciate that. Any more questions on planning, or did that help you with your planning question? I'll wait a minute. I'm admiring I can't reach it, but that's my African violet over there. And I've got a Christmas cactus next to that. And another African violet, you can't see it, but over there. Thanks, Kat, Tina said. Good, I'm glad that helped. Now remember, before I go, that if you need to be mentored, I do have slots available. At the beginning of the month, I always have slots available because people graduate out. So if you need to be mentored 4 times a month, that's $100. If you need to be mentored twice a month, that's $50. It includes that $650 membership for the videos every day. So you will get the videos plus my personal mentoring. We'll talk one-on-one 25 minutes each time we have an appointment. And or we can video conference through FaceTime or through Facebook Messenger or WhatsApp or whatever pleases you. You can send me pictures. You can ask me questions throughout the week. You can ask me questions when I'm on vacation. I will answer my mentees' questions during that time. We will develop a relationship, and it's, I hope, one of great trust, and I look forward to mentoring you. So if you are thinking you need to be mentored, I'm here to help you. I can help you with all the things that are bugging you. Now, I'm not a counselor. I don't have a degree. It's just me with 72 years of life experience. I worked in corporate for 40 years. I was a mother for all the years my kids were home, and I'm still their mother, but they're grown. I have 4 kids. I have 8 grandchildren. I'm from a family of 40 first cousins on my mother's side. My mother-in-law and my mother both had 12 in their family, so I'm familiar with children and the issues of children. Whatever you need. If you need financial help, I worked in a bank in my last job. That was my last thing, and I saw all kinds of things there and learned a lot. I can help you with your corporate job. I managed people. I was a senior business manager for many years in a big corporation. So whatever it is you need help with, I can help you with. Just let me know. Go over to Patreon, sign in, and then send me a personal message. Send me your phone number. I will send you my phone number so you can put it in your phone and you'll know it's me. We'll decide on a time for me to call you to discuss what, if anything, you need. And then if you decide you want to be mentored at that point, there's no pressure, then we will sign up for a certain time on a certain day that will be yours every single day. Janet Carnes, one of my mentees, says, working with Kat is the best. Thank you, Janet. And our time is up. And since I have to follow a timer just like you, I have to go. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope you always remember to be beautiful because you are beautiful.